The demo always goes the same way. Someone stands on a stage, opens a chat box, and types a single sentence. Plan me a weekend in Lisbon, book the flights and the hotel, and put it on my calendar. They hit enter and step back. On the giant screen behind them, an AI agent starts moving on its own. It searches for flights. It opens a hotel site. It fills in dates, clicks buttons, and 30 seconds later a tidy itinerary appears. The room applauds. The message is unmistakable. The future is here, and it runs your life for you. Here is what the demo does not show you. It does not show you the 4 earlier takes where the agent booked the wrong month, or picked a hotel in the wrong city, or froze halfway through and had to be restarted. It does not show you that the whole thing ran in a controlled sandbox with fake payment details. And it definitely does not show you what happens when a normal person tries the same thing at home on a Tuesday with a real credit card. This video is about that gap, the distance between what AI agents look like they can do and what they can actually reliably do in 2026. Let me be clear up front, because this channel is allergic to hype in both directions. AI agents are real, they are genuinely useful, and they are getting better fast. But they are not the tireless digital employees the demos imply. The truth is more specific and more useful than that, and once you understand the shape of it, you will know exactly when to trust one and when to keep your hands on the wheel. Start with what an agent even is, because the word gets thrown around loosely. A regular chatbot does one thing, you send a message, it sends a message back, and it is done. An agent is different. An agent is a language model that has been given 2 extra things. First, a goal to accomplish. Second, a set of tools it is allowed to use, like searching the web, running code, or clicking around a website. And then it is set loose in a loop. That loop is the whole idea, so hold on to it. The agent thinks about what to do next. Takes an action like clicking a button or running a search. It looks at the result. Then it thinks again using what it just learned and takes the next action. Think, act, observe, repeat over and over until it decides the goal is done. A chatbot answers. An agent works in steps. That difference, the loop, is what makes agents powerful and, as we will see, also what makes them fragile. The tools are the other half. On its own, a language model can only produce text. Cannot actually do anything in the world. What turns it into an agent is giving that text the ability to trigger real actions, a capability engineers call tool use or function calling. The model writes out, in effect, a request like search for flights to Lisbon, and a piece of software catches that request, actually runs the search, and hands the results back. The model is the brain. The tools are the hands. An agent is the 2 wired together in a loop. So where does this actually work well today? The pattern is clear once you look. Agents shine on tasks that are bounded, well-defined, and easy to check. The task has a clear finish line. The steps are limited. And crucially, a human can quickly verify whether the output is right or wrong. When those 3 things are true, agents are already impressive and worth using every day. The best example right now is coding. A coding agent can take a request, write some code, run it, see the error, fix the code, and run it again, looping until the tests pass. This works so well because the environment is perfect for an agent. Every step produces instant, honest feedback. The code either runs or it does not. There is no ambiguity for the agent to get lost in. Research summaries, pulling data out of documents, sorting your files, drafting first versions of things. These bounded, checkable tasks are the sweet spot. Now the limitation, which is just arithmetic, and it is the single most important thing to understand about agents. Remember the loop. A long task is not one decision, it is a chain of them, and every link can break. Imagine an agent that is a very reliable 95% right at each individual step. That sounds excellent. But string 20 of those steps together where each one depends on the last being correct, and you multiply the odds. 95%, 20 times over, works out to about 36%. A chain of small, likely successes becomes one large, likely failure. This is why the Lisbon demo is so misleading. Booking a trip is not one action, It is dozens of little ones, and a single wrong click early on poisons everything that follows. Engineers call this compounding error, and it is the wall that every ambitious agent runs into. The longer and more open-ended the task, the more the odds stack against completion. Short chains, agents handle beautifully. Long, messy chains through the real world, they still fall apart, quietly somewhere in the middle. And when they fall apart, they do not fall apart like a human would. A person who gets confused stops and asks for help. An agent often does not know it is confused. It will confidently take a wrong action, treat the bad result as if it were fine, and keep going, building an elaborate structure on top of a mistake it made 5 steps ago. This is the part the demos never capture. Not dramatic failure, but quiet, confident wrongness. Which leads to the rule that actually matters for you. Be extremely careful letting an agent take actions that are hard to undo. Writing a draft is safe, you can read it and throw it away. Sending an email, moving money, deleting files, making a purchase. These are irreversible, and an agent that is 36% likely to complete a long task correctly is not something you hand your bank login. The stakes of a wrong step, not just the odds, should decide how much leash you give it. So the honest state of the art in 2026 is not the fully autonomous assistant from the keynote. It is what you might call supervised autonomy. The agent does the tedious middle of a task, and a human stays in the loop to approve the important or irreversible moves. This is not a temporary embarrassment on the way to full autonomy. For anything that actually matters, keeping a person on the approvals is the design, and probably will be for a while. There are 2 more practical catches worth knowing. Agents are slow, because that think act observe loop can mean dozens of separate calls to the model for a single task, each taking seconds. And they can be expensive for the same reason, you pay for all that thinking. A task you could do yourself in 2 minutes might take an agent 5 minutes and a real chunk of compute. Sometimes that trade is worth it. Often, for something quick, it is not. Which brings us back to the demo. When you see an agent flawlessly plan a trip or build an app in one take on a stage, remember what you are watching. You are watching the best result out of many attempts, in a controlled environment chosen precisely because it worked. That is not lying exactly, but it is marketing. The honest benchmark is different. When researchers turn agents loose on realistic, open-ended tasks and measure them fairly, even the best ones complete only a fraction without a human stepping in. That fraction is climbing every year, and that is the genuinely exciting part. But you make better decisions when you know which number you are looking at, the polished demo or the messy benchmark. Almost everything useful you can do with an agent today lives in the space the benchmark describes, not the space the demo promises. So here is how to actually use them. Reach for an agent when the task is bounded, when the steps are few, when you can check the result at a glance, and when a wrong move costs you nothing but a redo. Coding, research, drafting, extracting, organizing, yes. Give it a clear goal, watch what it does, and stay on the approvals for anything you cannot easily undo. Do that, and agents stop being a magic trick that disappoints and start being a genuinely powerful tool that does not surprise you. The short version. An AI agent is a language model in a loop, wired to tools, and its superpower and its weakness are the same thing. The loop lets it do real work. The loop also lets small errors compound into big failures. Judge any agent by the length and the stakes of the task, not by the smoothness of the demo. Next time, we are going to open up the thing all of this runs on, what a token actually is and why AI companies count everything, your questions and their costs in them. Subscribe, and we will keep